Hey, it's Jack from Vacationies here, and I want to talk to you about July news and deals. So let me tell you about some of the cool stuff that's happening. First, Jamaica. If you're thinking of planning a destination wedding or you're going to Jamaica as of July the 6th, you still need a COVID test prior to going to Jamaica. It's one of the few places in the Caribbean and Mexico that are still requiring the COVID test. Again, as you know, most of the resorts are doing COVID tests there because the CDC is still requiring that to get back in the U.S. you need a negative COVID test. So the resorts are doing them at the resort, but to get into Jamaica you need to have a negative COVID test prior to going to Jamaica. Make sure you check the Jamaica website, Jamaica Tourism website, because you'll see that it's been changed recently. It used to be 3 days before, now it's 2 days before. Now talking about COVID tests, great news recently, cruise ships are going again. So if you're thinking about having a wedding on a cruise ship, most of the cruise lines have started sailing in Caribbean and Europe, and yippee, I'm leaving today to go to Greece on a cruise. So awesome. But here's the scoop with the cruises. The majority of cruises are requiring everybody on the ship over the age of 12 to be vaccinated. So if you're thinking of planning a cruise ship wedding in 2021 or 22, I'd be cautious and make sure everybody you're inviting is vaccinated. Now, Royal Caribbean out of Florida does have cruises that you don't need to be vaccinated on, but here's the thing I read last week, is that if you do that Royal Caribbean and I think Carnival cruise out of Florida, they will have a different class system for those that are vaccinated, have certain things they can do, and folks that aren't vaccinated have other things. So you may eat at a separate restaurant, and they are going to force everybody that's not vaccinated to buy an insurance policy. So my advice is, if you are thinking about doing a cruise ship wedding, talk with your travel professional, find out specifically what's happening with that cruise line and the departure point so that you make sure you know what's going on. As an example, I'm cruising in Greece. You have to be vaccinated to get into Greece, and the cruise line is requiring 100% vaccination for everybody on the ship. Now, let's talk about some new resorts that we see opening. So in Punta Cana, in the Cap Cana section, which is very close to the airport, a couple things. Hyatt Ziva, Hyatt Zilara just opened a few months ago. Amazing place for a destination wedding. Great resorts. The only thing I will caution you is the wedding packages and wedding private event prices are a little bit higher than I like to see, but they are amazing resorts. Now, also opening later this year is the new Margaritaville Island Reserve. That's by Charisma. I sat on a webinar last week. It looks amazing. They're going to have villas. It's family friendly. A lot of restaurants. They're going to have Joe Merchants, which is really cool. Instead of you getting stuff in a mini bar, they give you dollars to spend. You go to Joe Merchants and you buy what you want. So I think it's a pretty neat concept. We should probably be there in September, and looking forward to experiencing the Margaritaville Island Reserve. It's part of Charisma, so it has great wedding perks. You get a lot of free private events, typically with Charisma, as long as your wedding is not on a Saturday. So again, Margaritaville Island Reserve, Cap Cana, and the Dominican Republic. A couple other things that have happened. So you may have been familiar with Now Jade, Now Sapphire in the Riviera Maya. There's also Now Onyx. Okay, forget about them. You may actually have your wedding booked, so some good news. The company that owns them is AM Resorts. They recently changed them from Nows to Dreams. So in the past, I'm not really sure what the difference was between a Dreams and a Now Resort. We've asked many times. Bottom line is, they've upgraded, in my mind, many of the Now Resorts to Dreams. So as an example, the Now Jade in Riviera Maya, they're putting several $1 million into the resort to upgrade it. Now Onyx was always one of my favorite resorts because it sat next to Breathless Punta Cana, so adults could share both resorts, but that will now be known as Dreams Onyx. Same thing in Punta Cana. You had Now Royal Beach or Now Larimar. That is now going to be known as Dreams Larimar or Dreams Royal Beach. It sits next to Secrets Royal Beach, so that guests staying at the Now, which is now Dreams, as adults have access to Secrets. So I think it's a great option. All these Nows that are now going to be Dreams are great options for destination weddings and hosting your wedding at. Now, I know this isn't destination weddings, but let's talk honeymoons. So a couple things. Europe is opening as of mid-July because of COVID. So a lot of destination weddings have looked at Europe. We've kind of held back on them because we weren't sure what was happening, and Europe was pretty much closed. But we are seeing that Italy is open, Greece is open, Cyprus is open, Spain is open, Portugal is open. So many countries are going to have different requirements, but most of them are requiring you to be vaccinated. Some of the airlines are also requiring you to fill out something online prior to going. I've just checked in for my flight for later today on American, and I had to do the Verifly app in order to travel. So honeymoons coming back. We've also looked at Thailand. Thailand actually has Phuket open, but the rest of the country isn't opening. So we're basically saying to people, hold off on Thailand, Vietnam, any place in Asia right now. The Delta variant's still out there. But the good news is for people looking at more exotic options for 2022 for destination weddings, we are seeing Europe open, so it gives people a lot of options. So these are the news related to destination weddings and a little bit of honeymoons. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back soon with some more destination wedding info. Thanks.